Now, one tank which you will all know I love is this, and I have tried doing a review on it numerous times. However, stuff has always happened to make me not do a review because, parents coming in or just whatever has been stopping me from doing a review on my amazing little Panzer II. Not this time, hopefully. I will do a review on the Panzer II. So, for the Panzer II, it has 170 hit points. Let me actually just look at this. No, I don't have enough to... No. Trying to get them to 100%, but never mind for their first go. But, only 18 more battles. It's not that much. So yes, 170 hit points, which is... it's fairly standard. It was 180 for the T-26, that's a tank destroyer. 170 for the Vickers, 160 I know for the Panzer 1. 210 for the Panzer II-D because that's the only thing it has going for it. So it has 170 hit points with a 9.61 ton weight with my current setup, with a 10.8 load limit tons. 160 horsepower engine, which gives it, where is it? 16.65 horsepower per ton ratio, which is pretty good. It does have a 40 km/h top speed limit, which is decent for a light tank. It's not the fastest tier 2, of course not, but it is a fairly mobile tank, and that is a very useful feature of it. It does have 40 degrees per second traverse speed, which is also very good. Let's just have a look at the other tier 2s that I have here. 48 degrees per second, 38 degrees per second, 45 degrees per second, 55 top speed, 52 degrees per second, wow, 40. So yeah, it's got pretty standard traverse speed. Now the armour is pretty good for a tier 2. I certainly love the armour of this tank. It's 30 at the front, 20 at the sides, and 15 at the rear. Now the 30 at the front will stop many a shot at medium to long ranges in a tier 2 battle. It is a pretty good armoured, pretty well armoured tier 2. And as we all know, I love my Panzer II. The turret armour is also pretty good, 30, 20, 20. The big weakness of the Panzer II is this bit here, where the gun and machine gun 34 is mounted. This little bit. This bit is where you shoot a Panzer II from the front in the turret. That is definitely where you want to shoot it, because that is a thinly armoured area. The front of the Panzer II is pretty well sloped there, and then this is 30. So yeah, the armour is very good. I can angle the Panzer II's arm pretty effectively, so I can bounce shots from the side of the turret and the side of the hull and stuff like that. I can definitely do that. Panzer 1Cs are gonna hate you because they can't get through your frontal arm with their machine gun main armament. So yeah, you're gonna be laughing in their face as you slide your way through them with your massively OP 2 centimeter. So now getting on to the 2 centimeter actually. Here we go. So this is the top Flak 38 2-pounder. You do, of course, have these two guns, the 2 centimeter Kampfwagenkanone 30, and let's get up the other one here. There you go. And then this is the next one, the Kampfwagenkanone 38. So all three of them are 2 centimeter Flaks. Well, they're all 2 centimeter. Let's actually move them over here to the front of the screen. So each of them are 20mm guns. These were actually attempted anti-tank guns made from the Flak Verling 38. So they're both 20mm. They both have 10 shells in the magazine. This one has .21 for one shot of 2, and then the other one has .13. Both have a 3.9 second complete loading time of the clip. Both of them have shocking penetration. 23 average penetration with 11 damage, which is pretty standard for an autocannon. They have very, very bad accuracy. 0.59 and 0.57. They are fucking useless. The stock one has a 1.7 second aiming time. The better one has 1.6 second aiming time, which is pretty good. They are very good aiming times. Both weigh 400. Both weigh 70 rather, and both of them have a 40 shooting radius in meters. And I think that's an XVM thing. I'm not too sure. But just to compare them to the god-awful Panzer II D's gun, what does this use? This uses the Kampfwagen 30, so this uses the stock on the Panzer II, which nobody wants to touch with a stick from 100 meters away. So there you go, just to compare them here. They have pretty much the same stats. This one has a slightly better dispersion. It has a very good aiming time, 1.4 seconds, which is wow. It has a higher complete loading time of the shells, but then again, I don't have a complete crew, so that may be a thing. So yeah, this is the best gun you want to be using on your Panzer II. This is the gun which I kill stuff in all of the time. 20mm, 10 shells in the magazine, 0.13 second aiming time for one burst, which is the same as 2 shells. So every time you see me go ba-bang, that is what this means. It means 0.13 for the next 2 shots to go in. Because as you may notice on my reticle with the aiming time and stuff, you will notice that it has the 5 clips when it is 10 shells in the clip. That's because each time you press the mouse, 2 shots come out. So yeah, that's a long way of saying that is the same time for 1 shell to be loaded. 3.9 second complete reload time. It does say 3.74 because of my crew on here. 11 damage, but it has very good penetration, 39mm of penetration, which will get you through most of the tier 2s and some tier 3s. It has much better dispersion with 0.45, which is still not very good, but I can manage it. 1.6 second aiming time, 110 weight with a 400 meters shooting radius. So yeah, this is the gun that you will obviously want to be using. It won't take you long to research everything for your Panzer II. It is only tier 2, don't forget. Now, moving on from that, 44 degrees per second traverse speed for the turret, which is very good. The Panzer I, I hate the traverse speed because it's only 24 meters degrees per second rather. The Panzer II has the same turret traverse speed as the Panzer IID. 46 for the T26, 24 for the Vickers. Yeah, I do hate the traverse speed of this Vickers as well. The Vickers isn't actually it isn't a very good tank, I have to say. But it does have the pom-pom, which only works a little bit of the time. Now, the bit that you all know about my Panzer II, which I keep saying in every video that I have a Panzer II video of, is my view range. I have broken the game with my view range. Yes, I have. The basic view range is 320 meters, which is pretty standard for. It's just standard for tier 2. There's nothing special about it. But then I fitted coated optics. I literally cannot remember why I fitted these 2 items, but I did. I have no idea why I did, but I, for some reason, fitted coated optics and binocular telescope, which just broke the Panzer II. But in a good way. Because now, my basic view range is no longer 320, it's now 370 meters view range, and then when I'm stationary it's 421, which is better than a tier 10 tank. That's when I'm stationary. It has broken the Panzer II, but in a good way, because the Panzer II itself is not overpowered in any way, shape, or form. But when I get my hands on it, it is OP. It is just the view range is just the most crazy thing, and that. This is, I don't know whether this incorporates the skills of the crew. I don't know whether this actually reflects on that, whether XVM does that, but it may even be more than that. I just have no idea. The signal range is pretty standard for a tier 2. It's 455, 455, 345, 300. Wow, the Russians don't have a very good radio range, do they? They don't have very good radios. 375, 300. So yeah, it's a pretty good tier 2 radio. Do I really have to go over this? You all know which is the best layout to go with. This one. But if for some reason you were crazy and wanted to do something other than that, enhanced springs, yeah, sure, you can drive around enhanced springs. That'll be fine. I wouldn't say no to fitting those. Improved vents, wouldn't say no either. They're always a useful thing to have. Light spall liner, you don't. It's tier 2. No tanks have very good armor, but the Panzer 2 does have pretty good armor. So yeah, sure, light spall liner. I may say it's a waste of a space, but it's still a useful thing to have. Camo net, yeah, sure, you can do sniping, long-range sniping with this. You'll get through plenty of tanks at a longer range. You've all seen me do it. Yep, that's that. Enhanced gun lane drive, we'll just skip those two. I told you enough about them already. Enhanced gun lane drive, you don't necessarily need it. It has a pretty good aiming time. And toolbox, I just like fitting toolboxes to stuff. Now, for your crew, you'll definitely want to go with recon. You don't have to necessarily go with it. Sixth sense is always a useful thing to have. Eagle eye, yeah, that's always also a useful thing to have. Jack of all trades, that's also a useful thing to have. Mentor, I find no use in that. Snapshot, you could do. I could certainly benefit from that, but I'll probably use my third and final skill and perk to go with sixth sense. Armourer, yeah, you could do. It's not a very accurate gun to begin with, but Armourer, yeah, it's always useful for if your gun gets damaged. Designated target, yeah, sure, go with that. That's the same as getting another couple of bursts on him. And then, of course, you have your standard, your regular stuff. So for this chap, I have gone with smooth ride because when I'm driving along on the move, how much does it cost to reset? Oh, it costs a lot. And it goes down to 96%. Okay, I need lots more gold for camos. But smooth ride, yeah, I do tend to drive around and shoot at stuff, just without stopping. I do sometimes do that. Clutch braking, you don't necessarily need it. I had to check there. You don't necessarily need clutch braking. Preventive maintenance, sure. If you're a noob, sure, go with that. Off-road driving, yeah, that's always a useful thing to have. Controlled impact, yeah, sure. You do have pretty good armor. You can ram stuff. I certainly have rammed some stuff in my Panzer 2. Ramming is always a useful thing. So yeah, controlled impact, you can certainly do that. Then of course your common skills. Now for the radio operator, I always find the radio operator is useless. Sorry, Diether. However, in a Panzer 2, it's only a 3 crew tank, and there is 5 crew slots to take up. Well, crew skills to take up. So your commander is the same as your gunner, and your radio operator is the same as your gunner. So I, of course, am going situational awareness to just increase that pretty awful view range. Oh dear, adrenaline rush. Yep, you use a clip-based magazine. Adrenaline rush is going to be useful for when you're on that low health. Intuition, sure, if you want to switch between APCR and AP, because they're the only two you can get. It's a 2 centimeter. You don't fire high well, actually you do. It's a flak gun. Flak guns don't tend to not fire AP. They tend to fire explosive rounds. But yeah, sure, if you want to switch between APCR and AP, sure, do that. Relay, sure, you have pretty good signal range. Signal boosting, sure, just to complete the overpoweredness of the view range with overpowered signal range, sure, you can do that. I may actually do that. That is a pretty good idea. Write that down for future reference. Call for vengeance, sure. If you're letting your Panzer 2 die, shame on you, but my platoon mate has shamed the Panzer 2 because on Xbox One, when he got his Panzer 2, he maxed it out because I was there, so he was just like, oh, you know what I need to get the Panzer 2. So I was just like, if you fail to do anything in the Panzer 2, you have shamed the Panzer 2 and you can never drive it ever again. What does he do? Manages to die, having only achieved 8 penetrating hits. He disappoints me sometimes. And he's probably going to watch this video as well, so he'll be just like, bruh, why you say that about me? But, yeah. Do not shame the Panzer II again. I'm giving you one more chance. Do not shame it. Now, what was I saying? I was finishing up skills and perks. I was finishing off the review. So, overall review of this. Amazing Scout. The end.